Before we evaluate Pokemon Rumble World, I would first like to say a few things regarding my Pokemon Shuffle review and freemium games in general. After more consideration and a ton of comments, I realized I was a bit too harsh on Pokemon Shuffle. At the time, I didn't even think of the possibility of the game being played in short bursts, like one time in the morning and another in the evening. Sounds crazy, right? But I was looking at the game from an impatient perspective, which was the wrong point of view. Now, I'm not saying that review was rushed or anything, and I still do agree with a lot of the points I made in it, but I have to admit my overall thoughts were a bit too negative. I mean, it's still competent, and if you can wait around for a bit, you can have some fun with it, so why am I telling you this? Why should you care? Well, I wanted to let you all know that I've thought long and hard about my opinions on Pokemon Rumble World. Although I still despise pay-to-win and wait-to-win games, I'm writing this review in a less harsh light. After all, you never really have to pay a cent for this game if you're patient enough. And that brings me to how I will review this game. Since it's free, it's a bit hard to assign a rating to it, so instead I will tell you whether or not it's worth your time. Well, but now that I've explained all of that, let's get to reviewing this filthy, rotten freemium game. You know I'm just kidding, right? Anyways, unlike Pokemon Shuffle, Pokemon Rumble World actually tries to have a deeper plot. And by deeper, I mean as deep as a kiddie pool. You start out as a Mii character employed by a king to capture and defeat Pokemon while exploring different locations. As you capture more and more of these toy Pokemon, you rank up as an adventurer. Like many other free-to-play games, the story just establishes some background and a reason to go out adventuring. This is not a game about fleshed out characters or a compelling story, so it's fine the way it is. The dialogue is lighthearted, and I do like how it doesn't take itself too seriously. Plus, the art direction in the game is fairly decent. It doesn't push the system to its limits, but the backgrounds, Pokemon, and characters have a distinct style to them. The only thing is that the textures aren't the most visually appealing thing ever. Most models, entities, and backgrounds look low poly, even for a 3DS game. However, this is where the whole free aspect comes into play. For a 3D free game, I shouldn't expect what the $40 Tomodachi Life with a similar art style delivers. And it's not like the game looks horrendous, it looks fine to be honest. These complaints are just something that was worth pointing out. Also, most music, from what I've heard, appears to be reused from past Pokemon Rumble and other Pokemon games. I can understand why this was done, most likely to cut costs for sound direction, but it's a bit disappointing. Some themes from Pokemon Shuffle, like the icy one that appears in like level 150 or something, are good, so I don't know why the songs are so uninteresting in this freemium Pokemon game. Nevertheless, nothing else is more important than the gameplay here. It's what the entire game is based off of, and as you may have guessed, it's similar, if not identical, to every other Pokemon Rumble game. The only difference that I could see between them was the textures and the price. If you didn't know, Pokemon Rumble World is essentially a Pokemon skinned beat 'em up. You go into a level and progress through different areas, destroying any Pokemon you come across. Then at the end you fight the boss Pokemon of the level, and just like that the stage is over. The levels themselves, despite having a different coat of paint and new ways to navigate them, aren't too interesting. They're very linear and get repetitive and formulaic after only about 2 levels. On top of that, the combat really isn't that engaging. I didn't find it to be enjoyable in the slightest. Even though you can play as all 719 Pokemon, they don't feel that different from each other. In addition to this is the fact that when you get close to enemies, the game automatically attacks the nearest enemy, so essentially the game is playing itself. All the player has to do is move around with the control pad and let the game attack the foes, or press the A button to attack over and over. The combat is really simple and shallow. It's something that I never felt had plagued the series until this point, and I think it stems from just how unsatisfying and unvaried the combat is. You just attack Pokemon over and over, and if that's something you enjoy, then more power to you. I don't think the boring combat is for me. I mean, I really liked Pokemon Rumble U, but you see the attacks were more varied and everything felt flashier, shinier, and more rewarding. This game just appears really dull in both presentation and gameplay. Perhaps that is due to the console, but I digress. If I do have to compliment the game on anything, it would be that I do like how you go about collecting Pokemon toys. Sure, it is random, and if you want to get a certain Pokemon it can feel like grinding, but I like the system. It's interesting to say the least. Overall, Pokemon Rumble World is a mediocre game, even for a freemium title. The combat is not too entertaining, and the presentation is not too interesting. Now, the only thing I thought I would have a huge issue with was with the microtransactions. However, you really don't have to spend any money if you want to catch all of the Pokemon. See, to get to each each level, you have to use in-game currency to buy balloons that take you there, and usually after the mission, the king awards you more currency. Then you can use that same balloon again, but you have to wait for it to recharge, which you can speed up with this currency. If you couldn't already tell, this currency can be exchanged for real money, and the money to in-game currency ratio is fair if not a bit pricey. Nevertheless, you can get past the whole game by just waiting a certain amount of time, so I guess these microtransactions aren't that bad. With all this said, I would say that Pokemon Rumble World is not worth your time. If you like the Pokemon Rumble series, try it out, and I guess I would recommend every 3DS owner tries this game out too. I mean, it is free. I just don't think the game is worth putting a lot of hours into or even spending money on, but if you disagree or agree with my opinion, let me know in the comments below. And if you like what you saw here, consider subscribing to never miss out on new content. And as always, thank you so much for watching and take care. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.